What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another YouTube video. Today we're going to be going over how to stay patient in bad price action and bad trading conditions, especially when you know the higher time frame bias, because sometimes you can know the higher time frame draw perfectly, as I did today, but you just don't get clean price action towards it on the lower time frame, which is exactly what happened today. And I'm going to be going over the two trades that I took today. Today is Tuesday the 3rd of March 2026. And I'm also going to be telling you guys about the break-even method and how important it is that you use break-even when using a strategy like mine. And it can save you from so many losses. And another thing I'm going to be mentioning is how patient you have to be and how you have to just let the trade go without you, basically, because sometimes that's going to be the case. So let's jump into daily buy side. There's going to be a little bit of everything today. If you have any questions or I leave anything unanswered for you guys, drop a comment down below or join my Discord and message me privately. That's absolutely fine as well. The link to that will, of course, be in the description. So, coming into today's session, you can see that we're trending super bearish, right? We're not respecting any bullish PD arrays whatsoever. No bullish fair value gaps have been respected. We're actually disrespecting this one. We've just inversed it. And we are also, straight off of market open, respecting this hourly fair value gap right here as well. So we're respecting this. We've inversed the hourly and the 4 hourly to the downside. We have more sell side draws below, as you can see. If we go into the higher time frame, we have more sell side draws, weekly lows, daily lows, loads of draws below, right? So let's go over the two trades that I actually took today. So the first trade I entered was this short position right here. And the reason for this, we just swept buy side liquidity, bearish on the higher time frame, delivery from an hourly fair value gap. So that's what I need. I need my key high time frame delivery, which, as you can see right here, I got, and I need a sweep on buy side liquidity. And now I'm looking for a short position. So I simply wait for my candle close for the fair value gap. If you're unaware of how inversion fair value gaps work, we mark out our fair value gap, we wait for a close through the fair value gap, and we enter into a short position. So this is exactly what I did. Now, one thing I do want to touch on super quickly is the 2-minute time frame here hadn't closed, right? You do not need to wait for the highest time frame inversion if you have conviction. If your bias is right, this will still play out with this momentum and displacement. So as long as you're confident in your bias, you do not need to wait for the 2-minute. Sometimes I will wait. But in today's circumstances, I was confident to short off of this 1-minute momentum. So, in terms of drawing liquidities below, you can see that we have these perfect equal lows below. On top of this, it's not so much trendline liquidity, but you can see in this leg up, we have sort of steep trendline liquidity. But below all of these lows is resting liquidity, which is what we are targeting. We've got no buy side liquidity nearby at all, and we've just reacted like this off of a major high. So this is a super bearish signature in price, and this is where I want to see us reverse and I can take my short position. So I entered on this, but what you have to make sure you do here is look to the left and see where are my speed bumps, where is the trade likely to reverse if I am wrong here. And the simple answer is inside this fair value gap. And when do we enter into this fair value gap? When we sweep this intermediate term low. So simply what am I going to do? To protect capital, go to break even. Do not try hold your trade the full way without going to break even. It's the most overpowered method. It's going to increase your win rate by so much. Going to save so many losses using this break even method. And as you can see, we wick the break even and look what happens. We respect the fair value gap and shoot back up. Then where do we go? Okay, we remanipulate the high. So break even saved me here from a loss. And yeah, not much else to say on that. Of course, we have a manipulation leg, so I'm still interested in shorts at this point. Let's break down the second trade. As you can see, really strong displacement here. And boom, we get another inverse to the downside. So this would be my second short position, and I did actually enter onto this. Now, where have we just rejected from? This same fair value gap. So I'm going to go to break even if we hit this low. So I enter on the candle close, stop loss, just resting above these two fair value gaps. Always make sure you combine these gaps. If you're combining, especially when we've got a BPR above like this, if you're just using this one gap, This is such a strong level of resistance. You need to allow price to tap into this level if it wants to, right? You have to have your stop loss above there. If your stop loss is resting here, it's not in a good place. It's too tight. You're not giving your trade space to room. Sorry, room to do what it needs to do. Space to room. Makes no sense. So, targeting these equal lows again. We have our sell side draws. We have our buy side liquidity sweep. We have a manipulation leg, which is this leg right here, which has remanipulated that high that already swept buy side liquidity. So we're entering into our second short position here. Stop loss above these combined fair value gaps and take profit at the equal lows right here. So break even there. As you can see, we'll watch this trade play out. As you can see, we come back up, respect this, what's called an inception gap. So basically just the fair value gap in this leg that inverses the bullish fair value gaps, and then we hit break even. What do we do after we hit break even? We get stopped out at break even. And the trade goes ahead and plays out to full take profit. Eventually. If you go into my Discord, let me just pull it up. If you go into my Discord and you go into the trade recaps tab, not any of my winning trades will look like this. Absolutely zero of them will look like this. Let's look at some winning trades here. Not been many trade days. Here we go. 2 for 2. Do we chop around? No. We have a massive displacement candle after inversing and we go to TP. There was actually another trade on that day which I didn't include. Let's just go right up randomly. 1 for 1. Look, straight to TP. Race into TP. Race to TP straight away. Straight away. You can go in here and have a look for yourself in the trade recap section of my Discord. There's so many trades in there that you can actually have a look of. Excuse me. So that's my point. Winning trades do not do this very often. So when we're chopping around, we're sweeping lows, we're reacting. If we are truly bearish, we should just flush through this low. When we hit this break-even point, we should just flush and go straight to the lows, run all this liquidity. We don't do this, so it's not a characteristic of a winning trade. Therefore, I do not want to be in this trade anymore. Yes, this might win 4 or 5 times out of 10, but that is not the probability that I'm playing with here. My win rate in backtesting is a solid 75% at least. So I'm not trying to be involved in these types of trades when price action is doing this. And what you need to realize, and I said this on my live stream, the second this happened, and I got stopped out at break even for the second time, I said, right, I am most likely done for the day now. I'm just going to watch price. This is a bad signature in price now. If we were truly bearish and we're going to get clean price action, we should have flushed through this break even point. And then look what we got. And I kept saying on stream, I'm not taking anything. I'm done for the day. I'm happy to just let it go. And yeah, my draws on liquidity got hit. And of course, yeah, there was a 5-minute long afterwards. But my draw on liquidity was this sell side. So when this sell side hits, I'm done for the day. And I'm not too interested in trying to take a reversal or anything like that. Because I'm done. It's already 11:05 by the time this trade triggered. So yeah, you have to stay patient and realize when bad price action is coming, right? At this point, when this trade triggers after the first 2 entries, price action is not bad. Price action is delivering quite cleanly. But you can tell by this point, after 2 break-even trades, now you should be thinking, okay, this is poor. What do I typically see in a winning trade here? And it's not this. It's not this. Yes, we have a clear draw below. You have to accept. And I also said this on stream. I said, the break-even is not going to save us here. But am I going to react off of gut instinct and say, okay, I'm not going to move my stop loss to break-even? Absolutely not. I'm going to follow my rules, follow the edge, and move to break-even because I know that that is what I will, the right thing to do. And statistically, more often than not, it will save me. And that's what you've got to think. You've got to think in statistics and not off of gut. Because if you're thinking off of gut here, yes, this time it works, but that is not a profitable trading habit whatsoever. So obviously these days are tough to take, right? These days are tough to take. Certainly doesn't race to our TP, but goes to TP eventually, then starts to sort of race down to external sell side. But it is what it is. No results on the trades today, just 2 break-even trades. And hopefully you guys have learned something from this video. Always go to break even at points where you should go to break even. The only exception to this rule, I would say, is data wicks. At that point, you might be happy to accept the risk on. But in circumstances like this, always go to break even. But yeah, got the draw on liquidity perfect. Price action is not always going to deliver on the lower time frame, because as you can see, if you look at the 15-minute, it's actually not bad price action, right? We've swept the high, we've inversed this fair value gap, we've came down to the equal lows, and we've got strong displacement down to here. But obviously, the lower time frame you can't execute well if the 1 minute time frame is looking like this. So hopefully you've learned something, a little bit of a different type of video today. I thought it's very, very valuable to learn these lessons on days like today, because I think you learn more on days like today than you do on days when you're finished 10 minutes into open and you've already caught a 2-hour trade. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. Subscribe, and like I said, any questions, comments, or join the Discord and drop me a message. And I'll see all of you guys in the next video or inside of my Discord. Get involved in there and come and chat and trade alongside us all.